what has it been like, Laurie, to transition out of because I mean I think it's universally known that we all know and think that you're still one of the best guys when the waves get heavy and barreling and just I was there that the second Cloudbreak swell, not Thundercloud, not the I was there at both of them, but I was there on that one where you guys came over and I remember me and Billy gave you and Rossi, I think, the yellow toe board that you got your first couple of waves
right.
on.
Was that your board?
It was actually Billy's board, Billy Watson.
Billy's, sorry, Billy's board, yeah.
So we'd flown over, but I had a shoulder injury, and me and my other buddy Justin were there, and so I was sort of going like if it looked perfect and makeable, like I was going to have a go. And then when I got there, that first day was so raw and like no one was making paddle waves like basically at all. So I was like, I'm just going to support, and I saw you guys, McCool get his wave, Ramon get his wave, and then. But the special day was the next day, that when you got your incredible, you got a bunch of incredible ones, but specifically that one insane late drop to barrel, but like, that's what I'm saying, like it's, from getting dropped to sort of back to normal life and then getting a chance to then go and, prove yourself again. Well, not even prove yourself, but just do it because you love it. And when the heart grows fonder, right? Because you don't get to do it as much. So
exactly, it seems like it. If you can get one of those moments and you don't do it as much, the reward just is way higher in some way, I guess. Where you see guys doing it. Swell, and they're riding crazy waves on every swell, and straight away it's up on social media and whatever. But they have to do that because their sponsors are, they got that pressure on their back of their sponsor going, you do this, okay, what's next? And you see them doing it, and obviously they love it. But for me, I the way it's all changed and all of that social media stuff and all, there's no chance for someone like me.
Probably wouldn't have suited your style. Yeah,
nah, not at all. Nah. Yeah. I wish Instagram was dead and all that stuff. I wish there was no such thing as social media. I'm one of those dudes. So, and when you want to chat, it's amazing because you do get to see what your friends in other countries are doing and stuff like that. But
for it to be the be all and end all, and it's the same. I had a moment the other week where someone told me these things I had to do to get to this, to do that, and I just went, you know what, I'm done. Like I'm done. So he's like, no, you got to do this, and so I just went off of it. I went the opposite. I went, you know what, if that's what I got to do, I'm not willing to do that. And I don't want to do it, and whatever. I'm sort of like taking a stance. That I'm not going to do that just to appease something to go and do something. It was just so ridiculous. You got someone that's like a real athlete that's actually in there doing it that doesn't have the followers because he doesn't care about the followers, but then someone's willing to pay someone else that's going to go and pose for a photo that's not even the real deal but has a following, and they're willing to pay that guy. And it's just like, I just don't get it. I just can't wrap my head around the whole
it's a hard one. And it's, it definitely wouldn't have suited me, that's for sure. But
I feel like it's, sorry, I was saying, it feels like it's sort of, I feel like for big wave, I nearly feel like it should be reversed, right? Like, you come out of like pro surfing, generally you're a phenom as a kid and you get sponsored early and then you hopefully have a long career, but there's a lot of people that don't, they burn out or they at times out and they don't have anything to fall back on. They're 25 years old, or even like you can be a phenom at 16 and be done at 21, and you've just completely missed out on school or going to college or getting a thing, and I always feel like now when I look at guys that I see chasing swells all the time, that because I feel like you're in your prime at like 30 to 40 maybe for big waves, maybe not physically, but just the way you might.
I think your mind's a lot more switched on. You're a smarter surfer. Like that's the one thing. Even though I'm not doing a lot of it, my mind is just. I just feel obviously way different to my 20s. You just you feel like you're going to successfully ride more better waves than when you're young. When you're young, it seems like, you're getting those crazy moments, but you're also getting injured too. So
yeah, I feel like the people that have worked, say, not necessarily got sponsored, but they've loved what they've done, but they just kept on their path of working hard, and they may be successful in whatever they do. And now at an age where they're like past 30s, now they're able to fund their surfing. So you got all these guys turn up the swells and like, how do you do this? And they're like, oh, well, I just worked my whole life. And now I'm in a position where I can pay for myself to go. And they're at all these swells. And you're like, well, you're now the way a professional surfer is going to go, because there's not many people getting paid to be professional big wave surfers.
It doesn't seem like there's not a lot of funds in it for the people who are creating the sport. If it wasn't for the surfers and the photographers, there'd be none of it going on. So it's kind of an unfair system, but it is what it is, and that's the way it goes. But yeah, I mean, I'm sort of, in some way, the way it's all turned out is I'm pretty thankful and stoked, because the year I did lose my sponsor was the year we had our first daughter, so I haven't missed a moment of my two kids in that special age from birth to now. I mean, it's always going to be special, but watching how quick they grow from little toddlers to little humans, that's pretty special. And I'm lucky that I got to stay at home. If I was sponsored and had that pressure, I probably would have missed a lot of that. So and I'm also stoked now. I'm partnered up and getting looked after by Need Essentials, which is just a small company, a wetsuit company that makes a few bits and pieces, and they just, they're really supportive of me and about doing it the right way, and no pressure at all. So I'm stoked with where it is, and I'm also now a qualified tiler. I have my ticket in tiling at, I'm 33 now, and if that had happened now at 33 and jumped on a job site, it wouldn't be till I'm 40 that I'm actually confident in making my own money and whatnot. So it's all, it's all worked out all right.
Yeah, and because there was that. I want to go. There was that. You got that incredible wave at Cloudbreak, and I think we all thought it was going to be nominated. And this is it's a big part of where big wave surfing is going. And because I have really big dreams for big waves, and I've been working for the last 18 months with a partner of mine, and I really want to see the young generation have a shot at a career, and your Instagram post that you did, to the WSL and all that after that was a good reminder about just the frustration and all that stuff. And I think a lot of surfers and a lot of people really were able to relate to that, because they feel the same, and so just take us through that, because I'm guessing at that stage there's still probably number one, you get right of the year. It's number one, you get some money. It's nice to get some money. Number two, again, there's a chance of potentially getting some help to get you to more of these swells, which potentially, things snowball. Once you get an opportunity, no matter what happens, they tend to snowball, and I'm guessing it's all
exposure driven. So
was that sort of the last straw for you, as in just getting your hopes up for something to happen, when you get the wave. Do you think, is that the wave of your life? Do you think,
it's, unless I can better it, it's 100% the wave of my life, because I mean, I caught that ship Stearns wave and whatnot, which is just as big and everything, but I didn't get spat out into the channel on that ship Stearns wave. And even to this day, in my mind, everyone else is like, that wave's insane, you paddled, how'd you make that drop, blah blah blah. But in my mind, straight away, even as soon as I don't know if I could find footage, but I paddle up the boat and I wish I made it, kind of thing. So to me, 100% the Cloudbreak wave is the ride of my life at this stage. I don't know if I'll ever better it, but I still haven't lost the fire to surf those style of waves. And if there was a Cloudbreak, if we could travel, but if there was a Cloudbreak wave like that one, I would love to be there. So I still haven't lost the fire to surf as heavy big waves or whatever. So just the whole thing of that wave, I got that barrel, and the way it all happened. I hadn't ridden a wave like that in years, or been in ocean like that for a long time. And I also, the funny thing with that wave that's not on film, that's just a special moment for me, is after I got that barrel, I was Cloudbreak, beautiful long wall. Did a turn after that barrel, like stood there for a second, like, did I just get, that was just ridiculous. And then anyway, I did a turn, and as I did a turn and was cutting down or whatever, a school of flying fish just took off under my board and just took off into the channel, and I was just watching it going, what the just happened? Like, I stood on that wave for as long as I could and just rode down the point, just tripping, just having a personal moment kind of thing, like not a soul around because all the boats are way out the back or whatever. And for me, that's definitely the ride of my life. Well, unless I better it, but
yeah,